He just sent a serious message. As for the Boston Celtics, Payton Pritchard has been fantastic coming off the bench and has set a new record in the NBA by doing so. Plus, we'll be diving in and looking at the next Celtic that has really stepped up and delivered after being out for numerous games straight with an illness. We'll be diving in all of that and how he's been able to impact Joe Mazzulla's offense and defense, all in this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Velez with my co-host Patrick. And Patrick, we had some great games this weekend and ultimately some great Celtics basketball, don't you think?
Yeah, the Celtics are going to get back on track. We said that this was going to be a big stretch for this team coming off of that home stretch, having a couple of games against the Heat and the back-to-back against the Nets, looking ahead at Tuesday, but the team's ready to get back on track and look forward to those playoffs and make that first seed run.
Excited for it, and I know you guys are too. But before we dive in and we get into the Celtics news, definitely check out our promotion with hot takes for March Madness. We are kicking off a March Madness bracket challenge here on this channel, and we've decided to partner with the app Hot Takes to run this event amongst other digest channels. And it's completely free to sign up. All you need to do is download the app, click the top left banner March Madness, and go to the bottom right to find groups. Scroll down and find the digest media pool and click that to join. You can win up to $25,000 in total prizes, and there's a real chance to win as there's a smaller pool involved in this challenge. All you need to do is go down to the pinned comment down below and click that link or scan this QR code and enter the code DIGEST in all caps to receive your exclusive perks. Remember, it is free to sign up, and if you have any questions revolving around this promotion, follow the pinned comment to revert back to the email. We hope to catch you guys on this group pool, and make sure to enter before March 16th before the tournament starts. Once again, a huge shout out to our guys at Hot Takes. But Patrick, let's dive in and let's get into this Celtics news. As for the Celtics, we have some great things to be breaking down and talking about. And the first thing we're going to be talking about is about a Celtic making history, as I alluded to in the introduction, as we saw Payton Pritchard, who's been, like I said, very, very fantastic for this Celtics team coming off the bench, set some records as he was just set the NBA single season record for most threes made off the bench, where he eclipsed 220 of those threes. And if we look at this stat provided by StatMuse, we can see that there are some players. He did pass Wayne Ellington, who had the single game record in a season coming off the bench, but there is someone that is kind of close to him this season, and that is someone on the Detroit Pistons in Malik Beasley. So, Patrick, when you see that Matt Malik Beasley sitting at 6, Payton Pritchard sitting at 1 here at 220, do you think there's a chance he could potentially catch up to him?
I definitely think there's a chance. But sometimes the Pistons do like to start Malik Beasley as well. So that is the only reason why I think Peyton Pritchard will still hold this record, especially because Joe Mazzulla won't start him, regardless of who's out and who's playing. Um, but Malik Beasley has been an unreal 3-point shooter this year, one of the best. And Peyton Pritchard is right up there as well, coming off the bench. And I think he's going to hold on to this record pretty easily.
I think so too. And we've seen Pritchard obviously continue to grow as a player for this Celtics team, like we keep mentioning over through the years. And like we said, he was asked about his chemistry with players Luke Cornett and Sam Hauser, who has praised his growth after this game. And he says, when you have that many hours with those guys, spend so much time, it makes the game really easy. And you see that with Peyton, being that facilitator with this second unit with guys like Luke Cornett and Sam Hauser. He's able to find them in the corner for 3-point range, is able to work that nice pick and roll, find those nice lob opportunities for Luke Cornett. And also his teammate Jayson Tatum praised him as well for a newly set NBA record, saying anytime you hold a record in the NBA, regardless of whatever it is, it's special. Peyton works really, really hard, and everybody shows that. His ability to stretch the floor and take over in stretches sometimes really helps us, and it helped us to win a championship. And that is key because Peyton was hitting those crazy half court shots, the one that really sent the dagger to Dallas in that game 5. And I completely agree with Jayson Tatum here. Peyton Pritchard setting this record is absolutely great, and I can't wait to see what he can achieve more for this Celtics team this season as well.
You know what? I mean, something about the Celtics and Peyton Pritchard that's so good is that he really did want to leave, and then the Celtics were able to really obtain him and bring him back and just instill this confidence into him and his game because clearly they trust him a lot. We see him put a lot of threes. I mean, clearly with the record, it shows that he's putting up a lot of threes this year, but at a high clip as well. But Joe Mazzulla really gained a lot of confidence into his game and is really going to show, and he's really turning into a great player.
Yeah, 100%. You mentioned that they almost tried to trade him when he kind of was log jammed in that rotation. They felt that Peyton Pritchard, when he was drafted, was the best guard that they drafted since Rajon Rondo, and I'm glad that they stuck with that and, kept with that sentiment, gave him that extension, and looked to move off of some other guys. Yes, it did come to the heart of the cost of Marcus Smart, Malcolm Brogdon, so, some fan favorites, including myself, but it was for the championship, and it did help the Celtics get to see that growth in Pritchard as well, because he's one of those best valued contracts in the NBA, in my opinion. And he made history. You got to give him credit to that. Patrick, is there anything else you'd like to talk about with Peyton Pritchard on his historic night?
I think it's just adding on to his resume for sixth man of the year, don't you think? I think this makes it a really good case. His 3-point shooting, his points per game, and just how he affects the Celtics in winning in general. Because when he's playing well, the Celtics do play well, and I think that just adds another one to his resume to win that award.
100%. I think it definitely boosts that. It also helps for the fact that, he's one of the main engine and offensive pieces for this bench unit. So, like you mentioned, when he's kind of cold, the Celtics bench unit might not be the greatest in scoring, but actually having a guy like Peyton Pritchard be able to step up and make those moves can definitely help you out to kind of overpass that and kind of compete against these secondary unions. Patrick, we also got someone else to talk about that's been really, really impressive so far, and that is Kristaps Porziņģis. As everybody's been knowing, Porzingis has been out with an illness, has not been able to suit up for the Boston Celtics, but he was finally brought back this weekend and made an insane impact in the game he was brought back in. So let's dive in and let's get into that, as Porzingis was obviously back, in the Celtics are 49-11 without Porzingis since 2023-2024, but have a record of 64-26 with Porzingis all time, which goes to show you that he can positively affect and negatively affect. Obviously, doesn't hinder the team with him out. But in this performance versus the Brooklyn Nets, where he was brought back, he was phenomenal. 9 for 16 or 15 from the field, 1 for 7 from 3, so not the greatest, but had a great posterizing dunk late on Day'Ron Sharpe. 2 rebounds, 1 block, 24 points, a plus 13. What really screamed out to you from Porzingis in this?
I think that just Porzingis was able to shoot well coming back. I mean, not necessarily from the 3-point line, but you know how he gets to his spots on the free throw line and just shoots over everybody. That's what he does, especially in the first quarter. If he's able to get hot and play good basketball and just be able to create spacing for the Celtics, I think that the record without him doesn't show as much. I mean, it could be against teams that are under 500 as well. So there's a lot that goes with that, but I think that he does make this team a lot better. And when he is shooting at, well, when he comes back with 24 points after missing 8 games with an illness, I think there's nothing but positives that you could take from this game from him.
100%. And you got to factor, obviously, Kristaps kind of dealing with a little bit of rust, trying to get through this, trying to break into this game, and he had some of that throughout this contest, but late in that fourth quarter was able to really step up and dominate, to take over for this Celtics team in the paint and down low. And we see Porzingis, was asked about his illness over the last couple weeks, and saying he obviously, it was extremely frustrating not being able to play, but he hasn't been this sick probably even ever in his life. After each workout, he was like, boom, big crash, really fatigued, not normal. So clearly this injury was, or this illness per se, was not something just like a common cough or a common cold. And a lot of Celtics fans, on social media, even in the comment section, even all around Celtics universe, were screaming about Kristaps Porzingis not being healthy, not being readily available. But the guy is trying his best. He's doing everything that he can to be out there, and when he is out there, he is impactful, as he adds a necessary element to the offensive and defensive side that the Celtics lack without him, because he's such a great post presence.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just truly happy that he's finally back. I mean, this was, I mean, as a fan, I mean, you could just say like how ridiculous this is, missing so long with a non-COVID illness, and we're not getting a lot of details on it. But sometimes that's what the Celtics do. They're not really telling everybody everything, and they'd rather keep it that way. But I'm just happy. I'm just happy that he's back. He's just going to change this for the Celtics down the line, and hopefully he could stay healthy. Still a decent amount of games left in the regular season, and he needs to be there for that first round of the playoffs.
No, 100%. And I think we've talked about this before. I think the major concern for the Celtics this season going into the playoffs is their health, and they need to stay 100% healthy. So making sure guys like Jrue Holiday, who's dealing with that splint on his finger, is recovering and being able to play through it with it on. Guys like Kristaps Porzingis being able to, maybe get extended rest to make sure that they're extra ready to go for those first round series playoffs. And Porzingis, like we mentioned, is going to have to be utilized very, very keenly, as the big man rotation has been better than last season, but still has some holes, still has some weird nuances thrown in with it. So having guys like Porzingis and Horford ready to go to step up and deliver is definitely going to be key. And I think we're going to see Porzingis kind of go on this little bit of a tear here. We saw it last time when he came back in January when he was starting to get comfortable, and I think we could see something like that with Porzingis really starting to ramp up, and with the Celtics kind of playing through him to get him able to ramp up.
Yeah, I think sometimes when he's out for so long, he definitely is hearing what all the fans are saying, and he has a chip on his shoulder every single time. So he wants to go out there, make sure he's starting off hot, and he loves it, especially when we saw him come back and he was the last one to walk out of the tunnel and everyone's cheering for him. He knows what the fans are and how it means to him, and when he plays well, he knows they play well and the fans love it. So I think he does it for fans like us, that he wants to prove that he could still play. And when he's healthy, he's very effective and helps them win a lot of games.
100%, 100%. And I can't wait to see what the Celtics team looks like going into the playoffs and who they really match up with in the playoffs as well. But as we all know, there's still a little less than 20 games left in the season, and we got to get through that as well. But the Celtics will be gearing up to take on the Nets once again tomorrow night in a little bit of a revenge game for the Nets here. Will they be able to bounce back on TD? Hopefully not. The Celtics will be able to kind of clear that away. I'm thinking they're going to be able to do that. I know you do too, Patrick. I think we're feeling confident going into this one, but
Yeah, no Cam Thomas for the season for them. I think they're in full tank mode, and especially going into the TD Garden now, and Porzingis looking healthy again. I don't think so.
no chance. No chance for the Nets. So we'll be getting you guys some coverage on that game as well. So if you want to make sure you stay up to date on everything revolving around the Celtics team, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section on the Payton Pritchard explosion, on Kristaps Porziņģis being phenomenal for this Celtics team in the post and welcoming him back into this lineup. And we'll be live with you guys once again on Wednesday with our special guest. So you definitely want to make sure you tune into that. We'll have a little bit of an announcement coming towards you guys in the next couple of days. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day and go Boston Celtics. Signing off, Bruce and Patrick. Peace out and go Boston Celtics.